Hello and welcome. It's Mr. D here, and I'm here today to try and give you a video on some applications that can help us in the classroom, especially as we start to deal with online classes. So, we're going to use one of my favorite applications to do this, which is EdPuzzle. EdPuzzle is a great way to help simulate what your students will be viewing in terms of you can make a video lesson and have students get tracked in their progress and also embed questions in the video. It's a very handy program. So I'm going to show you how to use it, but first off, we're going to have to get started. So let's type in EdPuzzle into the search bar here. Make sure you're in a browser to do this. You can use any browser. I'm using Firefox here. And then we're going to go to sign up. Now I'm going to show you how to sign up. I already have it signed up, so it's going to be slightly different, but we're going to click that here and say I'm a student. And then you're going to say sign in with Google. I highly suggest doing this rather than using your personal account, mostly for the fact is you can associate your school with this, and if you have a Google Classroom, this will allow you to embed this directly from Google Classroom. It's very functional in that way. So when you sign in with Google, I'm just going to say my username here. Now, automatically, even with the sign up, it brings me to my actual class here. When you guys are doing that, it's probably going to ask you a few different things. If I go to my profile, for instance, under setting, maybe not settings, but here, there's your email. Let's check settings. Prevent skipping. That's something that you can default for your system. And that's one of the reasons why I love EdPuzzle is here, students will not be able to skip videos and questions. AKA, when you're watching a YouTube video, maybe you're watching this one, you'll see you can skip around. But in EdPuzzle, you can stop that. You can say, no, you don't want that happening. Closed captions, I don't really care too much about that. I haven't changed that, but I think I might in the future. And here, just contact preferences. All right, so school. Here's the part that I was saying before that if you associate your school, it's actually pretty helpful. So in terms of we're Choate Rosemary Hall, and you can select with subject. And you can notice I can change this right now. And this actually changes a little bit in terms of recommendations. And I'll show you that later. But you want to pick the department you're primarily teaching in. I primarily teach in the math department. So I use that. And the select LMS, you can pick which one you're using. Notice Google Classroom isn't here because it's very associated already since you're using your Google account. So I'm going to use Canvas since I have some courses with Canvas. And now you can put in, the login for that information. And I'm not going to do that right now. It's not a big deal. The plan, we have the Pro School account. Thanks to our administration. Thank you guys. You're wonderful. All the love to help us allow for more flexibility to create our lessons. All right. So that's the setup. Let's go to some other parts where I'm going to content here, top right. I click that. And now I'm here in this area. Now, notice this left-hand side, you have content and popular channels. And the content is really helpful because you can go into curriculum, talk about their curriculum here. You can look at all this content, right? If I click here, view content, it has all these different areas you can start looking at. I'm actually going to go to Choate Rosemary Hall because I'm going to focus on this part. This is really helpful as we start battling the whole issue of online classes, since everyone's getting into it. How do we handle it, especially when we have so many sections of material? It might really help if, let's say, I have Zachary here, who, Zach, he's made some great videos. I can watch some of his videos and say, I want to use these. Instead of rebuilding anything, I'm going to use his lessons. You could also do this in other departments. I could possibly search for here other subject areas. Let's go to computers if we have any here. We do not. Let's go to science and see that there are a lot of science ones. Now I'm gonna have to put more in computer for my classes. But here we have from Pat, we have from Heather. These are some great coursework in terms of they're using videos and they're embedding them. And notice I can just click one of them and I automatically have everything that she's done for this, and which is great. I don't have to reinvent anything. In terms of trying to get us very much working as a cooperative group. This is going to be super helpful to allow us to be really flexible in terms of just basically trying to be on the same page, but also for those of us who aren't as well versed in this material, this is a great way to start. If you're like, I have no idea where to go, but let's say, I know Heather did some great work. Let's see this question that
Heads.
she has, right? So I click it, I see this question. Hey, do I want to use this question? Maybe, maybe not. One of the things you can do is just assign it from here, and it looks like I'm going to skip.
Heads. Well,
Okay, let's
everything
pause
that
that. I can now edit or assign. I can keep it as is and assign it, or I can edit it. I can edit all these multiple choice questions, which is fantastic again because it's automatically graded. And then let's say I didn't want that question. If I go back to it, let's say if I didn't like this one, take your time, do problem one. What's the probability? Let's say I want to add another one, or let's say I just want to use different phrasing. I can edit that information. So it's really, really powerful that we can do this together and really work together to use each other's resources. So that is a little bit of an overview of EdPuzzle and how to log in. I'm going to end this video here and move on to the next video in terms of how to use someone else's video and take the time to go over the features on how to edit these videos to make them your own for your class. So tune into that one in the future and see you then.